Welcome to Bright Star. Today, we're diving into the world of ALF, 1986-1990, the beloved sitcom that brought an alien named Gordon Shumway, or ALF, crashing into the Tanner family's life. Join us as we relive the hilarious antics of this wisecracking alien from Melmac, explore behind-the-scenes stories, and catch up with the cast of this classic series. Whether you're a longtime fan or discovering ALF for the first time, there's plenty to enjoy. Subscribe for more updates on your favourite TV shows from the past. Josh Blake played Jake Ochmanek. Josh Blake portrayed Jake Ochmanek, the mischievous and street-smart nephew of Trevor and Raquel Ochmanek in the 1980s sitcom ALF. As Jake, Blake added a youthful and rebellious dynamic to the Ochmanek family, often providing comic relief and becoming a recurring presence in the show. His character was known for his tough, sarcastic attitude, but also for developing a genuine friendship with the Tanner family, especially with ALF, who Jake often helped keep secret from his unsuspecting relatives. Blake's portrayal of Jake was a memorable addition to ALF, balancing humour and teenage angst while adding a fresh energy to the show. Birth date, January 7th, 1975. Current age, Josh Blake is currently 49 years old. While he has stepped back from acting in recent years, his role as Jake Ochmanek remains a significant part of his career. Josh Blake began his acting career in the mid-1980s, with guest appearances in various television shows. His early roles, including appearances on Silver Spoons and Family Ties, showcased his talent for portraying young, energetic characters. Blake's breakout role came with ALF, where he played Jake Ochmanek. The character became a fan favourite for his street-smart attitude and humorous interactions with ALF and the Tanner family, earning Blake recognition in the late 1980s. After ALF, Josh Blake continued to act in television, securing roles in shows like Parenthood and Shannon's Deal. He also appeared in films and TV movies, maintaining a presence in the industry throughout the 1990s. However, by the mid-2000s, Blake had largely stepped away from acting. Born in New York City, Blake was exposed to the entertainment industry at a young age, leading to his early start in television. He balanced his acting career with his education, though much of his personal background remains private. Known for his lively on-screen presence, Blake's off-screen personality was described as friendly and outgoing. In later years, Blake shifted his focus away from acting, pursuing personal interests outside of the entertainment industry. He has kept much of his personal life away from the public eye. Benji Gregory played Brian Tanner. Benji Gregory portrayed Brian Tanner, the youngest child in the Tanner family, in the popular 1980s sitcom ALF. Gregory's performance as Brian brought a sense of innocence and curiosity to the role, capturing the heart of the audience as he navigated life with ALF, an alien living in their home. His portrayal was characterized by his natural charm and sincerity, making Brian a beloved character in the series. Gregory's interactions with ALF were both comedic and heartwarming, adding depth to the family dynamic on the show. Birth date, May 26, 1978. Date of death, June 13, 2024, aged 46. Benji Gregory, best known for his role as Brian Tanner on the sitcom ALF, passed away tragically at the age of 46. After stepping away from acting, Gregory pursued a naval career before retiring. His untimely death marked the end of a life that spanned both entertainment and military service. Benji Gregory began acting at a young age, appearing in guest roles on television and in commercials. His breakout role came in 1986 when he was cast as Brian Tanner in ALF, a role that made him a household name during the late 1980s. Gregory's role as Brian Tanner in ALF catapulted him into fame, earning him recognition as a talented child actor. His portrayal of the kind-hearted and innocent Brian allowed him to stand out, despite sharing the screen with a larger-than-life alien puppet. ALF was a cultural phenomenon during its time, and Gregory's role as Brian Tanner was an integral part of the show's success. His ability to convey the innocence of a young boy living with an alien in his home added to the humour and charm of the series, making him a favourite among audiences. After ALF ended in 1990, Gregory continued to act in small roles, including voice acting for animated series such as Fantastic Max and Pound Puppies. However, he decided to step away from acting in the early 1990s to pursue other interests. While Gregory did not receive major awards, his role as Brian Tanner earned him a lasting place in the hearts of fans and recognition as one of the memorable child stars of the 1980s. Born in Los Angeles, California, Gregory grew up in the entertainment industry. After retiring from acting, he pursued higher education at the Academy of Art University. Known for being quiet and down-to-earth, Gregory preferred a private life away from the spotlight after his acting career. He served in the US Navy and remained committed to a quieter, more structured lifestyle. Gregory was married to Sarah Gregory in 2006. The couple remained together until his passing in 2024. Gregory largely avoided any major controversies during his life. However, his untimely passing in June 2024 due to heat stroke in a parked car shocked his family and fans. He was found alongside his beloved dog, Hans, in Peoria, Arizona. Gregory's struggles with depression, bipolar disorder, and sleep disorders were mentioned by his family, but his death is believed to have been an accident, with Gregory possibly falling asleep in his car while running errands. Andrea Elson played Lynn Tanner. Andrea Elson portrayed Lynn Tanner, the teenage daughter in the Tanner family, on the hit 1980s sitcom ALF. As Lynn, Elson brought a relatable blend of typical teenage angst and charm to the role, portraying a young woman navigating adolescence while also dealing with the extraordinary situation of living with an alien. Her performance was marked by a genuine warmth and likability, making Lynn a beloved character in the series. Elson's ability to balance the comedic elements of the show with more heartfelt moments added depth to her character, making her an integral part of the Tanner family dynamic. Birth date, March 6, 1969. Current age. Andrea Elson is currently 55 years old. Although she has since retired from acting, Elson remains fondly remembered for her role on ALF and continues to be a popular figure at fan conventions and in 1980s pop culture discussions. Andrea Elson began her career as a child actress in the early 1980s. She gained early recognition for her role in the TV series Whiz Kids, where she played Alice Tyler. Her work on this show helped pave the way for her role in ALF, which would become the defining part of her career. Elson's breakout role came as Lynn Tanner in ALF. The success of the show, which ran from 1986 to 1990, brought her widespread fame and established her as a popular young actress in the 1980s. After ALF, Elson continued to act in television, appearing in guest roles on shows like The Young and the Restless and Mad About You. However, by the late 1990s, she decided to step away from acting to focus on her personal life and family. Born in New York City, Elson spent part of her childhood traveling with her family due to her father's job, living in places like San Diego and Los Angeles, which eventually led her to pursue a career in acting. She later attended high school in California, balancing her education with her acting career. Known for her positive attitude and down-to-earth personality, Elson has often spoken about her love for fitness and healthy living. After leaving acting, she became a yoga instructor, a profession she is passionate about, and has embraced a more private life focused on well-being and family. Andrea Elson is married to Scott Hopper, a former assistant director she met while working on ALF. The couple has one daughter together. Paul Fusco voiced and puppeteered ALF. Paul Fusco was the creator, puppeteer, and voice behind the iconic alien character ALF, Alien Lifeform, on the beloved 1980s sitcom ALF. As the sharp-tongued, sarcastic alien from the planet Melmac, Fusco's performance brought ALF to life with humor, wit, and a sense of irreverence that became a signature aspect of the show. His ability to perform as both the puppeteer and voice actor allowed him to imbue ALF with a distinct personality, creating a character that became an international phenomenon. ALF's dynamic interactions with the Tanner family, his misadventures, and his endearing yet mischievous behavior made him a cultural icon of the 1980s, largely thanks to Fusco's talents. Birth date, January 29, 1953. Current age, Paul Fusco is currently 71 years old. He continues to work in television and media, though his legacy is most strongly tied to his creation and portrayal of ALF. Paul Fusco began his career as a puppeteer in the early 1970s, working on various projects in television before developing his most famous character, ALF. His background in puppetry and writing laid the groundwork for his success in the entertainment industry. Fusco's breakthrough came in 1986 when he co-created ALF and voiced the title character. The sitcom became an instant hit, running for 4 seasons and making ALF a household name. Fusco's portrayal of the wisecracking alien resonated with audiences, and the show became a staple of 1980s pop culture. After the original ALF series ended in 1990, Fusco continued to voice and puppeteer the character in various spin-offs and appearances, including Project ALF, 1996, and ALF's hit talk show, 2004. Fusco also made guest appearances as ALF in other shows and commercials, keeping the character alive in pop culture. He remains an influential figure in puppetry and television. Born in New Haven, Connecticut, Fusco pursued a career in puppetry and television from an early age, teaching himself the art of puppeteering. He worked in local television before breaking into the national spotlight with ALF. Fusco is known for his creative vision and dedication to his craft. He has often spoken about his passion for puppetry and his desire to bring characters to life in a way that connects with audiences. His sense of humor and love for storytelling shine through in his work, particularly in his portrayal of ALF. Max Wright played Willie Tanner. Max Wright portrayed Willie Tanner, the straight-laced and slightly neurotic patriarch in the beloved 1980s sitcom ALF. As the head of the Tanner household, Willie had to navigate the chaos brought into his home by ALF, an alien from the planet Melmac. Wright's performance was characterized by his impeccable comedic timing, as he played the everyman foil to ALF's outrageous antics. His portrayal of a well-meaning but often exasperated father figure gave the show its grounding element, allowing the absurdity of the alien's presence to shine even more brightly. Wright's subtle humor and warmth added depth to his character, making Willie Tanner a relatable and endearing figure to audiences. Birth date: August 2nd, 1943. Date of death: June 26, 2019, aged 75. Max Wright passed away after a long battle with cancer. He had been diagnosed with lymphoma in 1995, but lived for many years after his initial diagnosis. His death marked the end of a long and varied career in television, film, and theatre. Max Wright began his career in theatre, making a name for himself on the Broadway stage before transitioning to television and film in the 1970s. His background in drama and comedy gave him the versatility to take on a wide range of roles. His role as Willie Tanner in ALF was a defining moment in his career. The sitcom was a massive hit in the 1980s, and Wright's portrayal of the earnest family man facing bizarre situations cemented him as a beloved figure in American television. ALF became a cultural phenomenon, and Max Wright's role was central to the show's success. His chemistry with the puppet character ALF helped create many memorable moments, and his portrayal of Willie Tanner became iconic within the world of family sitcoms. After ALF, Wright continued to work in television and film, appearing in several notable projects, including The Norm Show and films like Snow Falling on Cedars. He remained active in theatre as well, showcasing his range as an actor. While Max Wright didn't receive many mainstream awards for his work in television, his contributions to the genre, particularly through ALF, earned him a lasting legacy in pop culture. Born in Detroit, Michigan, Wright was educated at the prestigious Albion College, where he developed his passion for acting. He later trained in theatre, which formed the foundation of his long and varied career. Max Wright was known for his professionalism on set and his dedication to his craft. In interviews, he spoke about his passion for theatre and his preference for stage acting over television roles, despite his success in sitcoms. Wright was married to Linda Wiberondo from 1965 until her death in 2017, and they had 2 children together. He was a private person, choosing to keep much of his personal life out of the public eye. Max Wright's personal life was not without its controversies. In the early 2000s, he faced public scrutiny after being arrested for driving under the influence. and tabloids reported on his struggles with addiction, which included allegations of drug use and erratic behavior. These scandals were often exploited by the media, but Wright remained largely out of the spotlight, choosing to focus on his personal recovery. Despite these challenges, his legacy as a talented and dedicated actor endures, with ALF remaining a major highlight of his career. His battle with addiction and health issues in his later years marked a difficult chapter in his life, but he remained a beloved figure in the eyes of his fans. Sheridan played Kate Tanner. Sheridan portrayed Kate Tanner, the level-headed and practical matriarch of the Tanner family in the popular 1980s sitcom ALF. As the mother of the household, Sheridan's portrayal of Kate Tanner provided a stabilizing force amidst the chaotic antics of ALF, the alien living with the family. Her performance was characterized by her ability to balance humor with sincerity, often serving as the voice of reason and grounding the more absurd moments of the show. Sheridan's natural comedic timing and relatable portrayal of a suburban mum dealing with an extraordinary situation made her character memorable and beloved by audiences. Birth date, January 8, 1949. Current age. Sheridan is currently 75 years old. Although largely retired from acting, Sheridan remains a respected figure in television, remembered fondly for her role as Kate Tanner and her contributions to 1980s sitcom culture. Sheridan began her career in the early 1970s with roles in television dramas and sitcoms. Her early appearances in shows like Emergency and Marcus Welby, Maryland, helped establish her as a versatile actress capable of both comedic and dramatic roles. Via den.pa, Sheridan's breakthrough role came with ALF, where she played the central figure in the Tanner family. The success of the show, which ran from 1986 to 1990, made her a household name and secured her place in sitcom history. Soon gips our ALF. After ALF, Sheridan continued to act in television, appearing in various guest roles throughout the 1990s. However, she gradually stepped back from acting, choosing to focus on other interests and endeavors. She also pursued a career in interior design, a passion she developed later in life. Born in Portland, Oregon, Sheridan pursued acting from a young age. After completing her studies, she moved to Los Angeles to pursue a career in television, where she quickly found success in both guest roles and recurring parts. Known for her professionalism and dedication, Sheridan was often described as warm and approachable by her colleagues. Outside of acting, she has a strong passion for interior design and has worked as a designer in her post-acting career. She is also a supporter of various animal welfare causes. Sheridan is married to Christopher Barrett, a talent agent, and they have one daughter. Liz Sheridan played Raquel Ochmanek. Liz Sheridan portrayed Raquel Ochmanek, the nosy, eccentric neighbor of the Tanner family, in the hit 1980s sitcom ALF. As Raquel, Sheridan brought humor and energy to the role, often appearing as the comedic foil to the Tanner family's attempts to keep ALF a secret. Raquel's intrusive and quirky personality added a layer of tension and humor to the show, with her frequent attempts to snoop around the Tanner household creating many of the series' funniest moments. Sheridan's portrayal of Raquel perfectly captured the essence of the nosy neighbor trope, delivering her lines with impeccable timing and a blend of charm and exasperation. Birth date, April 10th, 1929. Date of death, April 15th, 2022, aged 93. Liz Sheridan, famous for playing Raquel Ochmanek on ALF, passed away at 93. Her death marked the close of a long and successful career in entertainment, where she became beloved for her memorable roles. Liz Sheridan began her career as a dancer and singer in New York City before transitioning into acting in the 1950s. Her early work included guest appearances on television shows and roles in theatre productions, where she honed her comedic skills. Sheridan's first major role came with ALF, where she played Raquel Ochmanek. The success of ALF introduced her to a wide audience, and her portrayal of the quirky neighbor quickly became one of the show's standout supporting performances. After ALF, Sheridan became widely known for her role as Helen Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld's mother, on the hit sitcom Seinfeld. Her recurring appearances on the show solidified her status as a beloved comedic actress. She continued to work in television and film well into the 2000s, taking on roles that showcased her versatility and comedic talent. Born in Rye, New York, Sheridan grew up in a show business family, which influenced her decision to pursue a career in the performing arts. She moved to New York City in her 20s to pursue a career in dance, which eventually led to acting. Liz Sheridan was known for her lively personality and sense of humor, traits that came through in her performances. She was also an accomplished dancer and singer before finding her niche in acting. Throughout her life, she was passionate about the arts and remained active in the entertainment industry well into her later years. Sheridan was briefly engaged to James Dean in the early 1950s, a detail of her life that garnered some media attention. She later married jazz musician Dale Wales in 1985, and they remained together until his passing in 2003. Sheridan lived a relatively private life outside of her acting career. John LaMotta played Trevor Ochmanek. John LaMotta portrayed Trevor Ochmanek, the loud and nosy next-door neighbour in the beloved 1980s sitcom ALF. As the somewhat gruff and boorish husband of Raquel Ochmanek, Trevor frequently brought comic relief to the series. His character, though nosy and skeptical of the Tanners, was oblivious to the presence of Alf, despite frequent interactions with the family. LaMotta's performance was marked by his ability to portray Trevor with a rough exterior, yet still managed to bring humour and occasional warmth to the role. His grumbling persona and frequent quips made Trevor a memorable supporting character in ALF. Birth date: January 8, 1939. Date of death: January 29, 2014. John LaMotta, best remembered for his role as Trevor Ochmanek on the hit sitcom ALF, passed away at the age of 75. His portrayal of the quirky neighbour left a lasting impression on audiences, marking a highlight in a diverse acting career. LaMotta's death marked the end of a life dedicated to bringing unique characters to the screen. John LaMotta started his career in television in the late 1970s, making guest appearances on popular TV shows like The A-Team and Hill Street Blues. His rugged look and ability to play tough guy characters earned him steady work in both television and film. LaMotta's role as Trevor Ochmanek in ALF became his breakout role, where he was able to showcase his comedic timing and ability to bring humour to a character that could easily have been seen as unlikable. His chemistry with Liz Sheridan, who played his on-screen wife Raquel, made the Ochmaneks a quirky and memorable part of the ALF universe. After ALF, LaMotta continued working in television, appearing in shows like Frasier, NYPD Blue and Jag. He also continued to take on small roles in films, but he gradually stepped away from the spotlight, retiring from acting in the early 2000s. Born in Brooklyn, New York, LaMotta grew up in a tough working-class environment, which influenced his ability to play rough and gruff characters. His background contributed to his authentic portrayal of blue-collar roles throughout his career. LaMotta was known for his no-nonsense approach to acting and his dedication to his craft. Outside of acting, he was a private person, preferring to keep his personal life out of the public eye. He had a passion for storytelling and often shared behind-the-scenes stories from his time working on various TV sets. LaMotta was known to have come from a large Italian-American family. John LaMotta's career was mostly free of major public scandals, but he was outspoken in later years about his frustrations with his role on ALF. In interviews, LaMotta expressed dissatisfaction with the show, saying he felt his role as Trevor Ochmanek didn't fully showcase his acting abilities and that he was underutilized as a performer. Despite his personal disappointment, his portrayal of Trevor became one of the show's memorable elements. His critiques of ALF did not significantly impact his overall legacy, as fans continued to appreciate his work and his role in making the series a success. J Bullock played Neil Tanner. J Bullock portrayed Neil Tanner in the popular 1980s sitcom ALF, a role that showcased his unique comedic timing and flamboyant screen presence. As Neil Tanner, Bullock played a recurring character who was the younger brother of Kate Tanner, part of the family that took in the extraterrestrial ALF. Bullock's portrayal brought a light-hearted energy to the series, adding additional layers of humour and relatability. His character, though somewhat naive and bumbling, was endearing and perfectly fit the show's eccentric comedic tone. Bullock's performance stood out due to his ability to balance physical comedy with witty dialogue, making Neil a beloved character in the series. Birth date, February 9th, 1955. Current age, Jim J. Bullock is currently 69 years old. He continues to make occasional appearances in film and television, while also pursuing work in theatre and as a guest on talk shows. His legacy as a television actor remains strong, particularly among fans of ALF and 80s sitcoms. Jim J. Bullock began his career in the late 1970s, performing in small roles before landing his breakout gig on Too Close for Comfort. His natural charm and ability to deliver sharp comedic performances led to his rise in popularity during the 1980s. Bullock's first significant role came as Monroe Ficus in Too Close for Comfort, where he played a goofy yet lovable character. This role earned him widespread recognition and solidified his reputation as a skilled comedic actor. His subsequent role as Neil Tanner in ALF further cemented his place in 1980s television history. After ALF, Bullock continued to work in television, notably as a regular panelist on Hollywood Squares. He also ventured into theatre and appeared in various film and TV projects, maintaining a steady career in the entertainment industry. His work as a guest star on shows such as Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide introduced him to a new generation of fans. Born in Casper, Wyoming, Bullock grew up in a small town before pursuing his acting career. He moved to Los Angeles to follow his passion for performing and found success in the television industry. Known for his upbeat personality and flamboyant style, Bullock has always embraced his comedic roots. He is openly gay and an advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, using his platform to support causes close to his heart. Bullock has been open about his personal struggles, including his battle with HIV, which he was diagnosed with in 1985. Despite facing challenges, he has remained resilient and continued to work in the industry, maintaining a positive outlook on life. Dean Cameron played Robert Sherwood. Dean Cameron portrayed Robert Sherwood, also known as Chainsaw, in the 1987 comedy Summer School. His performance as the fun-loving, rebellious high school student who has a fascination with horror films was a highlight of the film. Cameron brought an eccentric and comedic energy to the role, making Chainsaw an iconic character among 80s teen comedies. His ability to balance humor with a sense of underlying vulnerability made Robert Sherwood relatable to audiences, turning the character into a fan favorite. Cameron's chemistry with co-stars, particularly his comedic partnership with Gary Riley, who played Dave, contributed significantly to the movie's enduring charm. Birth date, December 25th, 1962. Current age. Dean Cameron is currently 61 years old. Though he is less active in major film roles today, he continues to work in the entertainment industry, often taking on television roles and participating in various projects behind the scenes. Dean Cameron began his acting career in the mid-1980s, quickly gaining recognition for his comedic talent. Early roles in television and film established him as a go-to actor for teen comedies, allowing him to build a solid following. His breakout role as Chainsaw in Summer School made Cameron a recognizable name in Hollywood's comedy scene. His quirky, offbeat performance earned him critical praise and a loyal fan base, ensuring that the role would remain one of his most memorable. After Summer School, Cameron continued to act in films and television, though many of his projects were smaller in scale compared to his earlier work. He took on leading roles in films such as Ski School and made recurring television appearances in shows like Fast Times. Over time, Cameron shifted toward more behind-the-scenes work, focusing on writing and directing. Born in Morrison, Illinois, Cameron moved to Southern California at a young age. He studied acting and pursued his passion for performing from an early age, which eventually led him to land his iconic roles in the 1980s. Known for his laid-back personality and dry sense of humor, Cameron has always embraced his status as a cult favorite actor. He is an avid supporter of the arts and has worked on various creative projects, including writing and producing his own material. Ann Mira played Dorothy Halligan Diva. and Mira portrayed Dorothy Halligan Diva in the 1987 film The Diva Affair. Mira brought her distinct comedic flair and seasoned acting chops to the role, playing Dorothy as a warm, witty, and fiercely protective mother. Her nuanced performance elevated the character, blending moments of humor with deep emotional insight. Mira's chemistry with the other cast members, particularly in her scenes with on-screen family members, provided a heartfelt and relatable portrayal of a woman who juggled personal struggles while maintaining a strong family presence. Mira's comedic timing and ability to portray complex emotions made Dorothy a memorable and beloved character. Birth date: September 20th, 1929. Date of death: May 23rd, 2015. And Mira, known for her role as Dorothy Halligan Diva on ALF, passed away at 85. A celebrated actress and comedian, Mira's career spanned decades, with her role in ALF being just one of many highlights. Her passing marked the loss of a beloved figure in both television and comedy, leaving behind a rich legacy of performances that touched many lives. And Mira's career began in the 1950s as part of a comedy duo with her husband, Jerry Stiller. Together, they became known for their sharp wit and relatable humor, performing in nightclubs and appearing on television variety shows. Mira later branched out into acting, quickly establishing herself as a versatile performer capable of both comedy and drama. While Mira had various notable roles, her early career success came from her work on The Ed Sullivan Show with her husband as part of the comedy team Stiller and Mira. This exposure helped her transition into a steady acting career in both film and television. In the later years of her career, Mira continued to act in both film and television, notably in The King of Queens, where she played Spencer's mother, and in Night at the Museum. She also found success in voice acting and writing, demonstrating her creative versatility. Mira was nominated for several awards throughout her career, including 4 Emmy Awards. She also won a Writers Guild Award for co-writing the television movie The Other Woman, 1983. Alongside her husband, she was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for their contributions to comedy. Born in Brooklyn, New York, Mira came from an Irish Catholic family and initially pursued a career in theatre. After meeting and marrying Jerry Stiller, they formed a comedy duo that catapulted them into the spotlight. Mira later studied acting at the prestigious HB Studio in New York. Mira was known for her quick wit, sharp humor, and strong sense of individuality. In her personal life, she was a devoted wife and mother, and shared a passion for the arts with her family. She also took an interest in writing and directing during the later years of her career. Mira was married to fellow actor and comedian Jerry Stiller for over 60 years, and they had 2 children, Ben Stiller and Amy Stiller, both of whom followed in their parents' footsteps into the entertainment industry. Despite her successful career, Mira prioritized family life and remained close to her children and husband.